Well, hello, fellow diamond painters. It's DP Crazy Lady, and I'm going crazy today. And the day has just started. It's 9:55 a.m. It is the 27th of May, uh, Monday, Memorial Day, 2024, and it is 67 degrees. Thunderstorms started last night. That's what woke me up at about 1 a.m. And, oh gosh, where to start? I thought I'd bring this stuff out here so I could. Sorry, wait a minute. Excuse me. So I could at least do something while I'm trying to talk. Let me remind you first, this is what I'm going to be kitting up and what I'm going to be painting. It's a Randall Spangler, Curl Up with a Good Book. It's one of his Draglins. There's a lot of purple in it. I like that. 27.6 by 27.6 inches, or 70 centimeter by 70 centimeter. And there's one AB. And I'm using my purple and white pen, and of course the purple tweezers and a purple tray. So I don't know if I'm going to do much kitting up, talk and kit at the same time. It's like, and this may have a lot of static in it. I'm not sure. Haven't even touched them yet. My daughter came in, walked in here and freaked me out at about 1:15, 1:30 in the morning. And she, I forgot to tell you, there's 55 colors, by the way. Sorry. My throat is so dry. Anyhow, she came in and her face had just even ballooned more. And I mean, her eye was almost closed, and it was freaky. And she wasn't getting any sleep. She wasn't eating. She's lost a few pounds since her dentist appointment and such. So, since this root canal. So I said, you know what? I'll take you in to the emergency room. We've got to go. We've got to see what, if there's something we missed, something that needs to be done. And so we left here at about 2:30 a.m. Well, before that, because we got to the hospital at about 2:30 a.m. and we didn't get home here until 8:45. So you figure how many hours we spent there. So they got her back there real fast. I mean, it was pretty quick. Surprisingly, there wasn't, I guess, as many crazy things happening, that normally happen during holiday weekends and things. So we get back there, and first off, that hospital, and I'm sure you can tell me if it's any of your hospitals, but it was freezing in there. My fingers are still cold. Now I'm getting hiccups. Excuse me. Let me get a drink. Oh. And, I mean, it was cold. I mean, icebox cold. Go stand next to cooler at the grocery store and just stand there and let that hit you for like 6 hours. It was cold. So they she said they had already taken all her information, and then they had parked her in the hallway, which that's where it's the coldest. Well, they found an empty a room open, so they went ahead and took her into the room, and I guess the one of the doctors had looked at her and said, okay, he said, well, we know that, he says, your throat's not closing up, so that's a good sign. And he looked up under her gum, her lips and everything, and he said, well, there's nothing that I have to puncture, it's not filled with pus and everything, he said, so that's a good one too. He said, but we're going to set you up to get a CAT scan. Now, if they'd have done the CAT scan yesterday, we wouldn't have had to go back again. If they'd have sent her back to the emergency room and looked at her closer. So anyhow, we went back there, and I was back there for a little while. They gave me a blanket and my daughter 2 extra blankets because it was really cold. I even went out to my car twice because I wanted heat. Well, now I got to figure out what's wrong with my car because I didn't get any heat. It can be the thermostat or the coolant. Could be old or low or whatever. I'm hoping it's something like that. But anyhow, I went... waited there, they were going to take her down for the CAT scan, so they did that. And in the interim, they gave her, they ran an IV with amoxicillin, 3,000 milligram, I think it said on there, of amoxicillin, and had another name next to it. And so they ran that through her. They took blood work because they needed to check. Before they took her to the CAT scan, they had to run blood work to make sure she had good kidney function and everything, because they did it with contrast, to check everything. And they checked it, they looked at it, and the one thing he did say when they finally, I'm getting ahead of myself, and I'll tell you, you stand in the cold for a while, your brain freezes too. It's like you go into a fog. Maybe that's their way of keeping the patients quiet. You freeze them. So anyhow, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm sorry. But anyway, they gave her, they did the test. Everything was okay. So on top of giving her the amoxicillin, they also gave her a stronger pain med that they injected into the IV. And they gave her a dose of steroid. They said that would help with the inflammation. And of course, they said the same thing they said the day before, follow up with that dentist. Well, yeah, we want to follow up with him when we get him in his office. I wouldn't have taken her last night, but she looked worse. And it worried me because I keep thinking, the infection could spread, into her ears and her throat, and next thing I think of is brain, but I don't believe it. But we took her in mainly too because her temperature rose. She was almost a 101, so 101. So I thought, okay, if you're starting to develop a fever, I know they don't consider that high, but like I said, a mom, you worry. So they gave her all that stuff, and then her migraine came back, of course, and so they gave her a injection of Teradol. I think it's IV Tylenol type, or ibuprofen rather, to get rid of her headache. And finally, they finally checked her out of there at about 8:15, or no, because we got home at about 8:45, 9 o'clock, somewhere around there, I think. I don't even remember now. But I asked her, I said, well, are you going to come home and get at least a little bit of breakfast? Something, get on your stomach. And she said, Mom, all I want to do is go to bed. I want to sleep. Because she hasn't really been able to sleep either. But I couldn't believe how cold that hospital was, and how, because I told the nurse, I said, man, this is, because, I mean, cold, you don't want to catch pneumonia or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's cold. And she said, well, hospitals, they have to stay cooler. Germs thrive on heat, and so on. I said, well, yeah, I understand that. I said, but, you get too dang on cold, you can catch pneumonia, for gosh sakes. What thrives on that, It's like, but, I mean, everybody was, people that were into everybody was asking, can I have 2 more blankets? Can I have another blanket? Or I'm freezing in here. So, and like I asked one of the nurses, I said, aren't you cold in here? She goes, well, I worked in here last night, and I worked up a sweat because we're moving all the time. I said, yeah, I understand that. I said, but, it's cold. I don't have much meat left on my bones anymore. After losing all that weight and stuff, it's like I said, it took like I said, my fingers still, I'm waiting for them to warm up. They kept tingling when I was there. My nose is still a little cold. It's like, holy crap. But like I said, I posted that on my community tab because, I wanted everybody to at least know, and I thank you, the few that commented. I will get back, I'll at least heart what you said, so I know you were there. But it just, it makes you, worry, and I know that dentist is not going to be there today, and I don't even know what he's going to do when he sees her, other than, let's give her another, what, is he going to dig around in the tooth again, or I don't even know what he did. I got a color here that it dropped, and I think this is it. No, that's the other one. I don't want to, yeah. I hate hospitals. I hate them. And I hate them even more when I have to be in one. That's it. I mean, I spent enough time in hospitals, for my different surgeries I had, and going to them and standing there and waiting, and I mean, they were all nice, they were all pleasant, they were all, kind, so, and it's funny because we were there almost at the start of one shift, into the one shift, And the next shift came in about an hour or so before we were ready to, before they checked her out. And the girl that came in on the second shift, she walked in and she goes, oh, she saw my daughter and she said, didn't I check you, or didn't I release you, and sign you out yesterday? And my dad goes, oh, yeah. And she said, oh, you're back again. She says, oh, and you look a little more swollen today. Yeah. And I had to explain to her why. I said, I don't like coming to an emergency room for something like this. But it's like, you don't know. You don't know what else could be happening. And I know I'm babbling, I'm rambling, and I don't even know what the heck I'm saying half the time. But and they did ask, was that an oral surgeon that did her root canal? I know he's a dentist, and I always took it for granted that a regular dentist could do a root canal just like an oral surgeon, because my daughter had a root canal once. Well, this would probably be her second or third one she's had on a couple of different teeth. And she even had one when she was smaller, and he was a regular dentist. It didn't say dentist, oral surgeon, / oral surgeon or whatever. So I don't know. Is there a difference? You guys would know. Tell me. I figured if he's a dentist, I think he knows, unless you're going in for something really severe, to have an oral surgeon. I don't know. Do you have to have an oral surgeon remove some teeth, to give you dentures, or is it just a dentist? Everybody starts specializing now. It's like, I remember growing up, I had a general practitioner, just an MD, that used to come to the house, not in a horse and buggy, but it's close. And he was the one that he had delivered my mother, and he delivered me. So, and my sister. He delivered all 5 of my mom's kids. All 5 of us. And I really liked him. He'd come to the house. Didn't matter what time it was, whatever. That's when doctors did house calls. What number am I on here? 10-318. Because that's the only thing I noticed, they are not numbered. They have the color marked on them, color number. I am tired. But, and I just noticed, and maybe I should note my mouth, but no static so far. Those are shiny. But, as soon as we got to the hospital, and just as we walked in the emergency room, you could hear the sky burst with rain. You could hear it in the hospital. That's how loud it was. And apparently we're going to have some severe thunderstorms and stuff today, too. It was raining when I left the hospital. It stopped right now. The wind is whipping up. The sky is gray. It's going to be a good one. Oklahoma, I hope everything is okay there. I know Becky, one of my subscribers, and she has her own channel, is from Oklahoma, and I hear she's okay, because, but pray for all of them. Tornadoes, any natural disaster, I'm sorry, Mother Nature sometimes can do the weirdest things. You know, I've, and I hate that kind of stuff. I mean, the last severe tornado we had here was in '85, so I expect we're probably, you know, waiting for one, and it just took out a lot of stuff. Skipped a lot, went right down the middle of driveways and never touched a house on either side, and, you know, didn't pull the trees up. I mean, it is strange. Strange. So I pray for all in all the you know, Oklahoma and wherever else the tornadoes hit, and I hope everybody is okay. I mean, you sit there and, you know, complain about your life, and, you know, and you think, oh, geez, what's up, and then something like that happens, and you sit there and go, there, but for the, you know, grace of, it's like, you know, then your problems become like minute. So it's like, I just, you know, I'm just glad my daughter's okay. If you had her in your thoughts, I thank you so much. I'm going to see if I can call that dentist office today, though, just out of pure luck. Maybe they'll be there till, like, say, noon or 1 o'clock, or there'll be some kind of message I can leave. If not, they're going to get a call from me first thing Tuesday morning, and see if we can get her in, like, that day ASAP, and let him look at it and see what he's going to say. So, and poor pup, he was in that crate from the time we left until we got back, of course, and oh, that poor little thing. I mean, I don't like leaving him in the crate like that long. You know, a couple hours here and there, that's fine, but all those hours, it just, as soon as he walked in the door, I could hear him. You know how when they'll shake and you can hear their ears go flap, 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 flap. I could hear his ears flapping. He knew we were here, and he was like, let me out. I got a pedal. You know, and he headed for the door, boy. He was ready. So, you know, being as small as he is, got a small bladder. You know, when you got to go, you got to go. And my daughter said that as soon as she headed into her room, and she said she no sooner put her head down on the pillow, and she felt right next to her head on the pillow, tap, 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 tap. And she looked down, and here it was Angel, her cat, tapping at her like, you know, hey, mommy, you're home, what's up? You know, the cat is so affectionate. She loves my daughter. It's her cat. Started out, you know, to be my cat to replace the one I lost and passed away, and she went to my daughter. So I said, okay. And then it was funny because her cat that she had before he passed away was supposed to be her cat, and toward about the last 2 years of his life, he started clinging to me. I said, what is it with these animals? It always seems like that when they're getting close to their time, they gravitate toward me and they just cling to me. I hate that, because that it just makes me feel so bad, you know, that I don't know, maybe they feel comfort in me or something in their old age. Probably because we're both old. And here I am, like I said, babble. So, I don't know if this is going to all fit in here, this one. It might. Yeah, it does. Yeah, and by the way, this is squares. Did I say that? I don't even remember. Well, I've probably been on here a little while. Uh, let's see. Oh, I'm going to make wings today. I'm going to make some barbecue wings in my air fryer using that sugar-free barbecue sauce by that Hughes, that guy. Delicious barbecue sauce. Oh. And let's see, 400. I want to make sure I have it in the right bottle. And then I'm going to make Brussels sprouts to go with it. I'm tempted to make a few steak fries, but I don't know. I want to try and stay away from too much starch, so I have to think about it. We may just have just the wings and Brussels sprouts. Usually that, I'll tell you, after we started eating, I guess, healthier, or, you know, I don't call it a diet, I just call it eating healthy, you know. Our stomachs have shrunk a bit, of course, and about 4 little wings a piece, and they're not wings, they're halves, you know, drumsticks and whatever they call the other part of them. Those have 4 of those each, and a helping of Brussels sprouts. I get full. I get full quickly, and so does my daughter. So we don't usually have to have, you know, all the other stuff that everybody else, you know, has. I could, and I might, make a little tiny bit of potato salad if I take just four of those small little tiny potatoes and cut those up and make like a, you know, 1/4 cup each of potato salad, you know, on our plate. I could do that. That's way less than those steak fries, because I would end up eating way more of those, because I could dump a bunch in. If I just make a small amount of what I was going to make and put it there, you know, I may do that. Make a tiny helping of potato salad. I don't know. It just depends. But I'm going to get off here. I had my breakfast earlier. Needed it. Oh, I was standing there at the hospital, and my daughter goes, or I told her, I says, well, there goes my stomach. She goes, was that what I heard? I thought, oh my gosh, if she could hear it sort of across the room, I can imagine how loud it really was. It gets to a certain time that I'm supposed to eat, and my stomach will go off. So, yeah, I hope everybody is going to have a good day today. Not going anywhere, of course. You know, it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna storm. I knew it was gonna storm today. I didn't know it was gonna storm yesterday. So, 2 days in a row. Oh, and this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The temperatures are going to be dropping down into the mid to low 60s. So we're, you know, going to be out of the 80s and into the colder temps for 3 days. And when I came back from the hospital or emergency room, first thing I did, I turned my heat on. I was so cold. It took an hour for me to feel sort of warm again. It just, you know, and I had a hot cup of coffee and had my breakfast. Pop had his breakfast. And I was like, oh man, I'm telling you, very, very cold. Very cold. And so I suspect I'm going to have a higher gas bill next month because looks like we're going to have some colder weather in the month of May and part of June, it looks like. So, everything changes. So, okay, like I said, maybe I kept you all company while you were cooking something, you know, diamond painting, whatever you were doing. I'm just white noise, just babbling, just talking. And I know dang gone well, as soon as I get off here, there was probably something I wanted to tell you, and I'll remember it later. But, what number am I on? 436. Okay, that's 20. I will get back on here tomorrow, hopefully, and have better news about the dentist and my daughter's. I told my daughter, I said, you know, she had taken a picture of her face on her camera, so she had it, like, I don't know why she wanted to see it, but she took it, and I told her, I said, well, I don't think I can show it on YouTube. They'd probably ban me. I said, it looks awful. And she told the nurse when she came in, she goes, oh my, your face. And she said, my daughter said, yeah. She said, she said, how'd she say it? I think I got into a fight with a pufferfish and I lost. You know, I mean, it really, you know how some of them women get them big, fat lips, you know, big, that's how my daughter looked with her lips were like that. Her, it went up the side of her, it's up the side of her face and into her eye. And she said it's so tight, it swelled so much that it's putting pressure on her tear duct so that her eye is constantly tearing and dripping. So, you know how tight it got and how, you know, how it is. So, well, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to have to check on Pup because he's awful quiet. The cat is on the back of the couch where he usually lays. So one or two things are going on. He's either really, really quiet in the living room, trying to tear a new hole in my carpet, like he's already done, or he's in there with my daughter, curled up with her. So I have to check. I don't hear any clawing, so he might be in there with her, especially if the kitty is in the living room, in his spot. So, well, I'm going to get off here and finish doing this, getting this kit up, and I might put in some drills later for myself and work on it, or I do have to straighten up my kitchen. I have to move furniture in the living room and vacuum and get it cleaned up because I planned on that the other day and never got back to it. And clean up my kitchen and try to relax. And like I said, thanks for the kind thoughts for my daughter. So it's apparently worked. And when they did the CAT scan, see, I don't know if I had mentioned it. See, I can't think. They did say that the infection, when they saw it on the CAT scan, the infection was quite a bit worse than what maybe it should have been. And they said it's up there. So I don't know, you know, either the dentist did something wrong, or the amoxicillin was not working yet. Uh, you know, I don't know, but hopefully this will be the first and last time something like this ever happens, because like I said, she's had root canals before. She's had teeth worked on with just a little bit of gas and not, you know, felt any pain. She's not had any issues like that with her teeth like that. So this is the first time, so maybe it's age. I don't know. So, well, I love you all. Thanks, new subscribers again. You guys, I'm amazed. I am just utterly, thoroughly amazed. I am almost at 500 subscribers. I, I, I can't believe it. I know not all 500 are watching. I know that. But I can't believe it. I've only been on YouTube just a little more than about a year and a half. And I know some people get 1,000 subscribers in, like, 2 months, whatever. That's not what I cared about. But I'm just amazed that there's that many subscribers. There's that many people that say, okay, I'll subscribe to you. I guess whether you watch me or not, or listen to me or not, that's another thing. But I thank you all very, very much. And I hope to someday see, quite a few more of you comment. I'd like to know what you think, and, what you enjoy, what you like. It'd be interesting. Tell me about yourselves. I mean, geez, some of you that are subscribers don't have channels. So the only way that I would know anything about you or enjoy what you have to say is if you say it. So, a little bit of static in this one. Little bit. See, I shouldn't have opened my mouth. Okay, that's it. I've bored you enough. I'm going to get off here and have some more coffee, have some more hot coffee, and watch some more YouTube. So, hugs to you all. Love you. Appreciate every single last one of you, no matter what. You're all important. You're all should be blessed with whatever. And that's not a religious thing. That's not a non-religious thing. It's just, blessings, goodwill, good luck, everything. Everybody should have it. Everybody. No one should be left out. So, hugs. Love you all. I'm done babbling. DP Crazy Lady. I'm out for today.